Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. My name is Carrie, and I am your go-to realtor for first-time homebuyers. If no one's told you this, yes, you can buy your very own home. This is real, and I'm not talking in 5 years, not someday, I'm talking now. And this webinar, we're going to show you how. This is your step-by-step roadmap from hey, I have no idea where to start to, wow, I just got the keys to my very first home. But first, let's talk about what's changing in the real estate market and why right now just might be the perfect time for you to jump in. Well, according to Redfin, there are more sellers than buyers by over 33% nationwide. And right here in Los Angeles County where you live, those numbers, they jumped to 45%. This shift, well, it's creating opportunities, less competition, more negotiating power, and more homes for you to choose from. And if you've been waiting for a sign, consider this it. The market is giving you a window view into what's happening. And my job is to help you see through that window so that you can walk through the front door of your very own home with confidence. Real quick, let's take a poll. In the chat, drop a word or emoji that describes how you're feeling right now. Is it stressed, excited, but a little terrified, not sure where to start, or maybe you're nervous about your credit? Wow, take a look at those responses rolling in. Well, guess what? You're not alone. You are exactly where you need to be. And hey, while we're talking about big feelings and emotion, who loves free money? Drop a happy face, you know, the one with the big heart eyes, into the chat if that is you. Because here's the deal. So you see, there are programs, real programs that offer thousands of dollars in down payment and closing cost help for first-time home buyers. And because you showed up today, I'm giving you something even extra, an exclusive bonus that can save you thousands of dollars just for choosing to work with me and my team. No fluff, no gimmicks, just real values. So stay tuned, take notes, and whatever you do, don't bounce early. I promise you're going to leave this webinar feeling ready, empowered, excited. And I'm not just here to hand you some brochure or throw some links your way. I'm here to walk with you step by step with real answers, honest advice, and a team that has been vetted, tested, trusted. Every text, every email, every showing is backed by decades of experience, a deep love for community, and a relentless commitment to your success. So if you've been hoping for a sign that it's time to start, this is it. This is your roadmap, and I'm your guide, and we're getting started right now. So grab a notepad, get comfortable, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. My team and I are committed to turning your dreams of home ownership into a reality. Okay, so this part, it's one of my favorites because I get to introduce someone who isn't just an incredible lender, but he's also a very dear friend, a trusted partner, and someone who, like me, has been in the real estate trenches for over 2 decades. Michael Rulin with Loan Depot is more than just a mortgage pro. He's the guy who shows up early, stays late, and somehow makes even the stressful parts of buying a home feel absolutely doable. Michael has been a cornerstone in helping countless individuals turn their home buying dreams into a reality. And I can tell you with 100% confidence that there's no one I'd rather have by my side when it comes to supporting first-time buyers. He has seen hot markets, slow markets, and everything in between. But what has never changed is his passion to help first-time home buyers. He believes first-time home buyers deserve to feel confident, have clear information, and be fully supported through every step of the process. So please help me give a big, warm welcome to my friend, my teammate, and your new favorite lender, Mr. Michael Rulin. Yes!
Thank you so much, Carrie. I'm just thrilled to be here, and I love to share what I'm by far most passionate about, and that is first-time homebuyers. I bought my first house a long time ago, of course, as a first-time homebuyer, and I did not have a good experience. And I remember not having my questions answered. I remember being confused and scared, and I've just vowed to never allow that to happen to a client again. So let me kind of address what people ask me all the time. The very first thing I get is, what do we do first to plot our journey to home ownership? Like, what's the actual first step? And I want to congratulate you. You've taken the first step. You've done the very first step by clicking on the link and listening to our seminar. And so the next step is really to sit down with someone like myself, who is an experienced licensed lender with a very established company, and go over everything with you. Now, let me tell you what that looks like a little bit. Let me give you some general overview, because hopefully I can make it so it's not as intimidating as it may feel. The very first thing that, again, people ask me is, what do we do? And I tell them that the very first thing we do is a loan application. Sadly, I know that's a little intimidating, right? It sounds like, oh my gosh, I'm applying for a mortgage today and this is do or die. And that's absolutely not the case. So here's the thing. What the loan application allows us to do is literally start your personal journey to home ownership by giving us the data, and we take that data, use our experience, and try to find solutions for you on a very personal level. Let me get into that a little bit. First of all, this is going to sound a little funny, but whether you're buying your first home or your fifth home, everybody has the same 6 questions. There are 6 universal questions. I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to break them down a little bit, so hopefully it gives you a little bit of information. So the 6 very basic questions are this: Mike, how much house can I afford? Can I buy a $500,000 house, $1 million house? How much house can I afford? Kind of a basic question, certainly an important one. The next question I get all the time, or the next question that you would have, is, what would the interest rate be? That's the cost of money, right? How much would the interest rate be? How much would the mortgage payments be? Obviously, if you're paying a monthly mortgage, you'd like to know what that amount is every month, right? So I get the same 6 universal questions. And let me lay those out for you. The 6 universal questions are, how much house can I afford? Can I afford a $500,000 house, $1 million house? How much house can I afford, Mike? Next question is, how much will my payments be? Well, that's kind of an important one, right? We want to know how much we're going to have to pay every month. So that makes a lot of sense. And what would the interest rate be? What's the cost of the money? Very important question. Next question is, what sort of fees are associated with this? How much do you get paid, Mike? And what are the fees associated with buying a home? How much money out of my pocket do I need? It's certainly an important question. We all want to know when we're buying anything, right? But certainly a house, a lot of money. And lastly, it's, hey, Michael, what sort of loan programs are available to help me achieve my goals, help my family and I get into that house? So I've given you those 6 universal questions. And again, whether you're a first-time home buyer, buying your 5th home, they are universal. But let's get into those for a quick second. How much home can I afford? The one thing I tell people all the time is this: do not go home shopping until we answer that question. Obviously, you don't want to look at homes that are too high, but your budget's under, and you'd be pretty disappointed when you go out home shopping. And of course, if you're looking under what you need because you don't think you're able to do it, you may be shortchanging your family and potentially buying a home in an area you don't want to live in. So making sure that we have that number dialed in is crucial. Now, the next question, again, we talked about was, how much would the payments be? Now, there's a lot that goes into your payment. There's principal and interest and taxes and insurance. At the end of the day, you have to sit down at your kitchen table and write that check. And how much that is important. Another important factor that is tax implications when you have a mortgage compared to when you don't. So there's a big picture there with your payment that's really important that we take the time to analyze to get it right for you and your family. Next question, of course, was, what are the interest rates? What are the costs of money? One of the cool things about Loan Depot is, as a Loan Depot representative here, I am not compensated based on the interest rate. Essentially, that's between you and Loan Depot. I'm here to help facilitate that. What that means to you is, it's not like buying a used car where it's like, how much is this guy trying to jam me? I have no benefit in you getting anything other than the very best deal. Yeah, how much money out of my pocket would I need, Mike? Now, this is an important factor, and it's one that I don't want you to be intimidated by. It's probably the number one thing I think people are most intimidated by, and that is, how much money do I have to save? A ton of money. And in another section, we're going to talk about loan programs, but there are programs for people that have a big down payment There's programs for people to have little to almost no down payment. They're not all meant for each other. Everything is kind of tailor-made. But I want you to hear it from me that if you're concerned about how much money you need in the bank, please pick up the phone and still reach out. There's tons of different programs. Now, what are the fees associated with that? Well, I can tell you that our fees are some of the most competitive in the industry. We are constantly reviewing everybody's fees to make sure, hey, are we being competitive? And I can tell you we are the largest, most competitive lender in the country. And I want to talk to you, of course, about loan programs for a second. And this is huge. I have to tell you, I was at a very large bank for part of my career. I won't mention the name, doesn't matter. But I can tell you that they literally had no down payment assistance. And when I tell you it's one of the largest banks in the country, it is. And today, they don't do down payment assistance. Here's the point. The point is that not every lender has every program. Loan Depot does not do car loans. We don't do deposits. We're not a bank. We are a mortgage lender. We do one thing, and we do it really well. And what's cool is that we have all the programs that you can imagine, from government programs to banking programs to programs that are a little off the grid for maybe some self-employed people. People have trouble proving all their income. But when I tell you we have it all, we truly do. What this allows us to be is your one-stop shop for your home financing needs. You sit down with someone like myself, and again, it's about building that roadmap. Look, I'm going to end this piece with this, and I want everybody to hear this, and I can't stress this enough. The difference between those people who want to buy a house and those people who don't buy a house is the desire and the ability to continue to put one foot in front of the other. One thing I can almost promise you is oftentimes buying a home is not a straight line. It sure hasn't been when I bought a home, but it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be confusing, and most importantly, it doesn't need to be overwhelming. The fact is that we're here to help you, and we've done this obviously a few times, but the bottom line is that when you have a competent real estate team, we're able to not only build you this roadmap, but then make adjustments as we go. You know, life changes, needs change. You know, you may be looking at one type of home or one type of loan program, but as you move along in the process, that may evolve, and that sort of thing happens. But we're ready for those changes, and we're here to make sure that not only are we ready for them, but that you understand what's going on the entire time. Look, at the end of the day, you can choose any real estate agent and any lender you want. What we hope is that you choose us because we are going to give you the absolute best service at the best cost. And we're going to be there for you, not just through the entire process until you get your keys, but we're going to be there for you for years on end. We're here to help you. Thanks for taking the time to listen to us. Carrie, over to you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Can we all give a huge shout out to Michael? Drop a bullseye in the chat if you're feeling more confident about this whole home buying thing. Michael, thank you for being such a powerhouse of knowledge and heart. You always manage to make something as intimidating as mortgage, well, feel a lot more doable. You know that our guests right now, they are already breathing just a little bit easier. But don't go far, because we've got you coming back soon to walk us through something really, really special, your free credit improvement program. If you've been feeling stuck or know someone who needs a little credit magic, you'll want to be here for that part. Okay, now, let's pause for a moment and talk about something very real. Even with all the right info, programs, and support, some buyers still hit walls, not because they're not ready, but because they don't know what to avoid. So let's dive into the biggest mistakes that first-time home buyers make and how you can avoid every single one of them, because I've seen it. Buyers with great intentions, big dreams, and huge hearts who end up stuck, frustrated, or overwhelmed simply because no one helped them navigate the process the right way. So let's walk through a few common mistakes you'll want to avoid. And yes, I'm going to help you dodge every single one of them. Mistake number one, rushing into the wrong home. You've searched, you've dreamed, you're exhausted, you just want the keys already. So you settle. Maybe it's not the right layout, the right location, or the budget, but hey, you've got the keys, right? Truth bomb, buying the wrong home can feel worse than not buying at all. You deserve a space that fits your life, not one that just happened to be on the market. Now, let's go on to mistake number two, doing things out of order. House first, budget second, oof. falling in love with a home before you understand your numbers and how they'll impact your everyday life. It's like showing up to a big event without knowing if you're actually on the event guest list. Around here, we do things in the right order for the right reasons. It protects your time, your heart, and your wallet, okay? Let's move on to mistake number 3, going it alone or trusting the wrong agent. Look, anyone can unlock a door, but not every agent knows how to protect your money. Negotiate like a pro or catch red flags before they cost you big. Your agent should feel like a partner, an advocate, someone who listens, who gets it, and actually cares about your outcome. And guess what? That's what I do. Now, don't take my word for it. Check out the video testimonials from former clients who's walked through this path with me. I'll drop the link right here in the chat. Check it out. Okay, mistake number 4, letting fear or confusion freeze you. Maybe you've seen friends or strangers buy something and thought, well, that must be nice, while waiting for some perfect moment where every dollar, every detail, and every emotion lines up. Well, here's the truth. Perfect doesn't exist, but a solid plan does. And with the right support, the right realtor, you can move forward smartly, safely, and on your timeline. So tell me, what has been holding you back? Now go ahead, drop a heart emoji right here in the chat if you're absolutely loving this webinar. And as you do, I want you to whisper to yourself, okay? And say, I'm done letting fear or confusion hold me back. Together, we're going to take you from dreaming all the way to home ownership. You're not stuck. You're just waiting for a guide. And that is what I am here for. All right, you guys, are you still with me? That's good, because this next part is where things get really real. You know that whole thing we said earlier about not leaving free money on the table? Well, if we told you that someone was here right now, someone who's going to give you $20,000 worth of free money towards your new home. I'm talking money that you don't have to pay back. Super easy qualifying, easy guidelines, life-changing stuff, right? Seriously, I have no idea why more people aren't jumping on this, but you're here and you're about to meet the man with the plan and all of the fun. So get your notebooks. Pay close attention, because this next speaker could be the reason you get the keys to your very next home. So please help me give a very warm welcome to Mr. Alan Hill with City National Bank, aka the man with the money, Mr. Alan Hill.
Imagine this. You're ready to buy a home. Someone hands you a check for $20,000. No repayment, no catch. Well, it's real. I want to introduce you to a program that's changing the game for buyers across Southern California. It's called Ladder Up from City National Bank. Ladder Up is a program designed to help qualified buyers climb into home ownership with ease, confidence, by giving them $20,000 in free grant money. That money can go towards your down payment or closing costs. And guess what? You can also use it to buy down your interest rate. That's huge. Now, while some loan rate programs allow the rates to creep up slowly over time, the City National Bank Ladder Up program is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. This program means that even if you use the grant money to buy the interest rate down, the rate stays the same for the full 30 years. Here's another bonus feature. This loan only requires as little as 3% down payment. That means you can use the grant for part or even all of your down payment. And that means if the seller agrees to pay your closing costs, you could purchase a home of $665,000 with no money out of your pocket. And it gets even better, because when you use the City National Bank Ladder Up program, there is no private mortgage insurance, which could save you hundreds of dollars monthly, thousands of dollars annually, giving you more buying power and lower monthly payments. And did I mention, the City National Bank Ladder Up program is not a loan? Well, programs alone, but the grant is not a gimmick. It's real money and it's free. Now let's talk about who can take advantage of this incredible program. The guidelines are simple and honestly very doable. Number one, you can borrow up to 97% of the home's value. You can put down more money if you want, but you don't have to. Number two, if you need help qualifying, and sometimes you just need a little helping hand, right? The City National Bank Ladder Up program understands that, which is why we allow non-occupying co-borrowers. That means if your parent, grandparent, brother, sister, cousin want to help you qualify to buy your own first home, then they can. It does not have to be a parent though, as I said. Number three, gift money. Thinking about buying a home short on cash? You're not alone. And here's some good news. Family member, close friend, somebody can help you by gifting you the money towards your down payment and or closing costs. And by the way, if you're buying a home that you're going to live in and it's your own home, none of the money has to be yours. It can all be gift. So if someone close to you has been saving for your big day, like, oh, we'll pay for your wedding. Well, maybe instead of doing that, let's make that dream home happen. Number four, it comes with no mortgage insurance. And this is very huge on many loans. Mortgage insurance can add hundreds to your monthly payment. Ladder Up eliminates that, which means you could qualify for a lower down payment. You can keep some of that money, that you saved to buy a home to make home improvements or just feel more comfortable with your payment. Number five, we do have income limits. A lot of the programs have income limits where you can't even earn enough to qualify for the extra money, but not the City National Bank Ladder Up program. With us, you can make solid income and still qualify. Here are the limits. In Los Angeles, you can make up to $319,800. Orange County, $409,000. Ventura County, $393,000. San Diego, $392,000. Look, these limits are generous, which means you don't have to be a low-income buyer to qualify. The loan limits are also pretty generous, and this is important, which is why it's good to know that the City National Bank Ladder Up program understands what home prices are, and they make sure that the program meets where home prices are. Think about this. LA and Orange County, you can buy up to $1.2 million loan. San Diego County, you can get a loan of up to $1,077,000. Look, did I mention this works for single family homes, condos, and even 2 to 4 unit properties? We do have a minimum FICO score, 660. So your credit doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be terrible too. But 660, that's doable. Does it have to be a first-time home buyer? No, it's not just for first-time home buyers. You just cannot own another home at the time that we close, which means if you're selling your current home, you have to close on escrow on the sale before you close on our home program. And if you're working with a really great realtor like Carrie, who can help you time everything perfectly, you can get that done smoothly, move from your former home to your new home, and qualify for the $20,000 in free money. So here's the big question. Why are more people not taking advantage of this? I don't know, but you're here, and now you know. Opportunities like this don't come around often, so don't let $20,000 just sit on the table. Ladder up into home ownership today. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Yay! Wow, did you hear that? I mean, $20,000, zero payback, easy guidelines. That's not just a good deal. That's a once-in-a-lifetime door opener. Mr. Hill isn't just talking about financing. He's handing you the keys to your future. If you were waiting for a sign to take the next step, hey, this is it. So now that we've talked about how everything can go wrong, let's talk about what we'll do to make it right together. Because buying a home, it's not just about saving money or even finding the right house. It's about building the right team around you, starting with me and my fully vetted team. First, let's meet one-on-one. Because before you start talking to random realtors or lenders or looking at homes, we need to talk. The first step is all about you, your goals, your questions, your comfort zone. In your session, we will go over things like your ideal timeline and location, what monthly payments actually feel good to you, any credit questions, saving concerns, or life stuff that could impact your path, or how to choose the right lender and the realtor. Spoiler alert, I can help you with both. And here's why this step matters. There are lenders out there who will do more harm than good. For example, they'll pull a hard credit report, they'll give you misleading numbers, or they'll push you into something that's just not in your best interest. I vetted and hand-selected lenders that I trust and that you can trust, lenders that I would send my very own family to. So before anything else, schedule a quick planning session with me. That's where your journey truly begins, with someone who has your back every step of the way. Step 2, get you pre-approved with the right lender. So once we've had a plan, I'll connect you with the right loan professional based on your needs, whether that's credit repair, down payment help, or just someone who can listen and explain things clearly. We'll help you get pre-approval in place so that you can shop for your dream home with complete confidence. Now, step number 3, we'll build your game plan. From there, we'll fine-tune your budget, create a home wish list, and identify neighborhoods that align with your vision. We'll be clear on your must-haves and on your deal breakers. Step number 4, house hunting like a pro. With pre-approval in hand and a clear plan, we start looking and focusing on houses that fit your lifestyle and your budget. Step number 5, make a smart offer. When you find the one, we'll craft a strong, thoughtful offer backed by strategy, not emotion. And I negotiate for you like your future depends on it, because in many ways it does. On to number 6, navigate escrow and inspections. Inspections, appraisals, disclosures, paperwork, I'll work with you through it all, so nothing feels confusing or overwhelming. On to number 7, close and celebrate. This is your big moment. You'll get the keys and take tons of happy photos. And if you've worked with my team, you'll also get thousands and thousands of dollars in exclusive giveaways and tons of support, because we believe in celebrating big. If you'd like a copy of the roadmap from dreaming all the way to the keys of your dream home, I'll drop a link right now into the chat. Let's get real for a minute. You see, I talk to so many amazing people just like you who are ready to buy a home, but they feel like their credit is standing in the way. And if you've been playing that same story in your mind, well, let me say this. And that is, you are not stuck. You're just waiting on the right guide. And speaking of guides, let me reintroduce to you someone who's not just a lender. He's a credit whisperer, a financial strategist, and honestly, one of the most incredible resources I've ever had the privilege of working with. Before he became a top loan officer, he worked in credit collection. So if anyone knows how to navigate credit repair, it's this guy. He helps people every single day take their score from not yet to, hey, we just got the keys. And the best part? His help, it's totally free. No pressure, no fluff, just real actionable advice that can change your life. So if you've ever thought, I'd buy a house if only my credit was better, this next part is for you. Cue the confetti. Hit the clapping emojis and drop a bullseye in the chat, because Michael Rulin is back and he's about to show you how to turn someday into now.
Thank you for having me back, Carrie. I appreciate it. So now, guys, I want to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is credit. And I know that credit is a very sensitive subject for a lot of people. Look, it's a crazy thing, like how do they calculate these scores? What do I do? So luckily, based on a lot of experience, I've been able to help people improve their credit scores 50, 75, 100, 150 points and more. And the cool thing is this, is that we are committed to helping you do this credit counseling, and it's absolutely at no charge. I'm not a fan of credit repair. I don't think it actually works. But what I am a fan of is you partnering with somebody who understands credit and can help you make profound changes. And frankly, I can do that. And let me tell you a little bit about how that works. So we talked about getting the mortgage application done. And of course, part of that is taking a look at your credit. Doesn't matter where it is. Believe me, it does not matter. But what matters is we have the reports. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize, and of course, why would they, that there are sometimes very minor things that you can do to make major changes to your credit. I'm going to give you an example of one. You want to try to improve your credit score today? Take a listen to this tip. If you know somebody, a friend, a family, a coworker who has a long-term standing of good credit. My mom, pretty good credit. It's mom, right? Okay. So anyways, let's say that I wanted to benefit from my mom's good credit. I could say, Mom, put me on your credit card as an authorized user. Now listen, don't get me wrong, I'm not going shopping, but I just want to become an authorized user. It means literally nothing other than I get to piggyback on her good credit and the time she's had that good credit. I've seen that move alone increase people's credit scores 50, 60, 70 points right there. So there are lots of little tips and tricks that we can use to help you get your credit score up. But what's important is this. You need to get yourself a copy of your credit report. We're going to show you how to do that for absolutely free. We're going to show you how to get all 3 credit bureaus, no charge, and then we are going to set up a personal session with you. Again, absolutely free. We are going to do a credit review, a credit counseling session. And what's really neat about one of the systems that we have here is I literally can run your information through these credit models. And they will tell us like, hey, if you do this, if you do that, it will give you this score. It will take away this negative marks. It will help you. So we literally have these computer models that we've built that are incredible, that will literally, again, I keep talking about the home journey and the roadmap, but this will put you on your roadmap. And here's the thing, and I know I've said this before, but I gotta say it again. It doesn't matter what your score is today. What matters is we know what your score is, and just as importantly, we get to see your report, because then we can start to work on things. So whether you think you have the greatest credit in the world, that's awesome, good for you. And if you don't, that's okay too. We specialize in all of the above. We're here to help you, and I'm excited to get to work. Thanks, Carrie, I appreciate it.
Wow, can we all agree that that was incredible? Drop a bullseye in the chat for Michael Rulin, because that was next level information. Michael, thank you for breaking it all down with so much heart and so much honesty. You've given people here today a clear pathway, and I know that there are some folks watching this right now who finally feel like, okay, I can do this, and that is everything. But hey, don't go anywhere yet, because we still have some more really great stuff. Now that you've unpacked credit solutions, the step-by-step roadmap, what to avoid, and I want to make sure that you leave here with more than just inspiration. Let's talk about tools. Let's talk about support. Let's talk about how I'm going to keep showing up for you every step of the way. Hopefully, you're feeling a little more confident about this journey ahead of you. Drop 100% into the chat right now, because we believe in the journey. But here's the truth. You probably won't remember everything that we talked about today, and that's okay. But because I have built a way to keep you supported step by step, no matter where you are in this process, welcome to my free online home buying toolkit. This isn't just a checklist. It's an entire virtual home buying seminar on demand anytime that you need it. Here's what you'll get inside: short videos walking you through every step of the process, downloadable guides, cheat sheets, templates, a printable version of that home buying roadmap, you know, the cute one, a myth-busting section on common buyer traps, and the ability to revisit everything as your journey evolves. Plus, you'll be enrolled in my email tech support series. This means no spam, no overwhelm, just the right tips at the right time to keep you moving and feeling supported, not stuck. And if you want access, just drop a thumbs up in the chat and I'll drop the link and send you access right to your email. This is the best way to keep learning, stay on track, and build confidence on your schedule. And of course, if you ever get stuck, confused, or you just need a reality check, I'm only a message away. Call, text, or email. And now, the moment that you've been waiting for. Earlier, I promised a big bonus for those who made it to the end, and you did. When you chose to work with me and my team to buy your home, here is what you'll receive. Free home buying inspections. That's all your inspections paid for. Free credit report paid for. Pre-appraisal on the home that you close on. These aren't just perks. These are real tangible savings, often worth thousands of dollars that you can put towards new furniture, moving costs, or whatever makes the new house feel more like home. This is my way of saying thank you for trusting me and my team and for making sure that your first home purchase is as smooth and cost-effective as possible. This offer is only available when you choose me as your agent because I want to protect your investment and celebrate your success. All right, now you've made it to the end, and I hope that you're feeling something different right now than you did before. Maybe a little less overwhelmed, maybe a little more hopeful, maybe even excited. Drop a heart emoji in the chat if you loved today's webinar. Yes, that's exactly how it should feel, but you don't leave all of this energy hanging in the air. Let's channel it into something real. Your next step is simple. Schedule a planning session, not a sales call, not a contract, just a real conversation where we talk about you. Here's what we will cover: your current situation and comfort zone, what buying a home looks like for you, your timeline, location, payment, your goals, fears, and yes, even your credit questions. Let's build a team around you that protects you every step of the way. You don't have to hope. You will get lucky and stumble across your dream home at the perfect price and with a great interest rate. We are here to guide you, your advocate, your connection to a team that you can trust. Because if you ever thought, I just need someone to actually care, who will walk with me and not talk over me, well, guess what? You have found it here today. We are ready when you are. Let's make it happen together. Home ownership is within your reach. Phew, that was a ton of valuable information, right? Well, I hope that you're all feeling just a little more empowered, a little more confident, and maybe a little more excited to take the next step towards home ownership. Now, I know you've all got questions, and guess what? We're here to get you answers. This is your chance to ask anything, maybe about that $20,000 down payment. What about help with your credit? Or what's going on with the home buying process? Whatever it is, maybe even you want to ask something about what happens after closing. Nothing silly. All questions just help you move forward. So go ahead and drop your questions in the chat, and we will have my assistant read them off. We'll get to as many as we can, and if we don't get to yours, don't worry. We want you to know that your answers can be answered by scheduling a one-on-one personal consultation where we will sit down and go over your specific information. If you can't stay for this part, we understand. We've dropped a link so that you can head right now over to our home buying webinar page. Here's a QR code, so scan that QR code if you can't stay and start heading over to our home buying webinar page. But if you're going to stay with us, start dropping those questions into the chat and let's get to it. Okay, Sarah, do we have any questions?
Yes, we have quite a few.
Great! Let's get started answering them. And by the way, Mike and Alan, if the question's for you, please jump right on in and help me out, all right? Sarah, first question, please.
To qualify for the $20,000 down payment, do I need to be a first-time home buyer, or does every buyer qualify?
I'm going to take that question. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to be a first-time buyer. You just can't be on title to another home at the time that you close on our transaction. So if you're using our favorite realtor, Carrie Pelayo, she can help you transition smoothly and comfortably from your past residence to your new residence using City National Bank Ladera.
Thank you, Alan. Okay, Sarah, let's move on to our next question.
The next question is, my parents were planning on helping me qualify to buy a home, but they are not planning to live in the home. because they own their own home. Does that mean I won't qualify for the free $20,000?
Yeah, this is a question for me. So with the Ladder Up Grant Program, your parents can help you purchase that home. And it's almost better that they're not going to live with you because you don't want the income numbers to be too high. But yes, they can help you qualify based on income and down payment and all of that. And it doesn't matter that they're not going to live with you. It's still owner occupied because you're going to live in the property.
Thank you, Alan. That's two for you. People are loving that free money. All right, let's keep going, Sarah.
The next question is, what should I look for during a home tour?
Great question. When you tour a home or attend an open house, don't get distracted by staging, decorations, fresh paint. Focus on how your family would actually live in the space. Does the layout and flow work for your daily routine? Is there enough room for everyone? And does the space feel comfortable for all of your daily needs? You see, my job is to look past the fluff and help you assess if the home checks off your needs, wants, and must-haves. I'll be there to guide to you and to point things out that you might miss and make sure that the home is truly a good fit for you and your family, not just something that looks good on the surface.
The next question is, do credit repair companies actually work, or can I do it myself?
Thank you. This may be my favorite question of all time, something I'm very passionate about. So I've been in this business for over 20 years. I've been in financial services for over 25 years. And in my career, I have never one time seen anybody have any real lasting success from paying a credit repair company. I think it's ridiculous. I can't believe it's even lawful. We can absolutely show our clients how to take control of their credit at no charge to them, absolutely at no charge, and show you the value of reading all three of your credit bureaus and making decisions based upon computer-generated models. So we can take the credit reports, put them into these systems, and start generating what we call these what-if scenarios. Like, well, what if you did this? What if you paid off that? What if you became an authorized user over here? But the spirit behind it is that we can help people take charge of their credit and do far more than what these credit repair people say they will do, which oftentimes, most of the time, it's nothing. So what we can do at absolutely no charge is profound, and what they do for a very steep fee is oftentimes not only helpful, but oftentimes, believe it or not, Carrie, it can be detrimental, because they'll tell people, well, we're negotiating with your debtors, or your creditors, excuse me, and so don't pay these accounts. I just saw one the other day. Her credit score went from 700 down to like 530, just to the advice of these credit repair people, and frankly, they're doing nothing for her. So she's stopping that, and she's getting on with our program. We are free, no hassle program. She's starting up with us.
Thanks, Mike. Credit is such an important part of the home buying journey.
The next question is, when is the right time to buy?
The best time to buy. The best time to buy is when you're ready. And that's not about trying to predict the market or waiting for the perfect season. It's about what works for you when you feel confident about your finances, your need, and your future plan. That's the right time. Remember, it's your journey, and when you're ready to take that next step, that's when the time is absolutely perfect.
The next question is, how do I remove late payments or collections from my credit report?
Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate it. Okay, this is a good one, guys. So in order for a creditor to put something onto your credit bureau's reports, they are supposed to essentially jump through these hoops. It's part of the Fair Lending and the Fair Credit Reporting Acts. So they have to jump through all these hoops. The fact of the matter is most of the time they don't. And so what you can do is challenge them on the validity of the actual reporting itself. Then the onus is on them to prove that they took the proper steps. And most of the time they have not, and oftentimes they then have to remove that remark. It's not a perfect science, but here's the key. Credit repair is a service that charges for the very letters that you can write on your own behalf. So instead, we can show you at absolutely no charge how to do it yourselves. We'll walk you through all these steps and process, but you can absolutely get some of these, if not all of them, removed. It's not an exact science, as I mentioned, but it's something we can help you with, and do so at no charge.
Thank you, Mike. This is great stuff.
The next question is, how do I make a competitive offer, especially if there are multiple offers?
Now, that's a really great question, and honestly, it's one I hear all the time. Having a clear strategy is the number one most important factor in getting your offer accepted, especially in a competitive market. And that strategy, it starts right before you ever write the offer. You see, a great agent, they'll contact the listing agent to find out exactly what the seller needs. Do they need flexibility on the closing date? Or do they need to close fast because they're buying another home? That insight can let us tailor your offer to make things easier for the sellers, which instantly makes your offer stronger. Next, we make sure that your financing is solid and ready to go, and a strong earnest money deposit, well, that shows that you're serious, along with tightening up contingencies when it's smart to do so, can really help your offer stand out. The goal is to write such a strong, clean offer that the seller doesn't feel the need to counter back at all. And just as important, communication between the agent. When the listing agent knows that the buyer's agent is responsive and collaborative, it gives them confidence that the transaction will go smoothly. And that trust can be the deciding factor in writing a great offer and getting your offer accepted. Now, Sarah, do we have any more questions?
The next question is, will paying off my collections help my credit score right away?
Oh, that's a good one. I love this question. Thank you, Carrie. So the fact of the matter is this is where you really need to sit down with somebody who knows what they're looking at, because depending on how much you owe, and which bureaus they're being reported to, and how old they are, and again, when they're being reported, you may or may not want to pay off collections. As a matter of fact, paying them, even starting to try to make payments, can be detrimental, because it then kicks this up as a derogatory again. So where if it hadn't been reporting, and then you call up and say, hey, in good faith, I want to try to work something out with you, what can happen is it brings that derogatory back live, and now all of a sudden you've got an active late or collection, even worse, collection. So fact of the matter is you need to sit down and go over all three bureaus, all three reports with somebody who knows what they're looking at, and can advise you on which accounts to pay off, which ones not to, which ones to try to negotiate with, which ones not to. And then to answer your question, depending on what we do, those reporting usually takes anywhere from a couple weeks, 30, 45 days at the most. So the long answer is there's a lot of different scenarios we need to look at, but usually about 30 days.
Thank you, Mike. Collections, they can be so scary.
The next question is, what's the fastest way to increase my credit score?
That's a really good question. I hear that a lot. So the short answer is absolutely. You can buy a home with a less than a 600 FICO score. Here's what I tell my clients all the time. Look, depending on what your timeline is, and that's super important here, depending on what your timeline is, you may want to indeed utilize a program that will allow for a less than a 600 FICO score. And they're out there, FHA being one of them, by the way. But the fact of the matter is that we can, again, help you with your credit. We can do some of the things that we've talked about in these other segments. So if you have more time, we can help you get that credit score up to get you a better rate, save you some money. If you don't have the time, sometimes the lease is ending, something's happened, maybe a divorce, you have to move, we can certainly help somebody with a less than 600 FICO. Great question, thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Good credit is so important when buying a home.
Is that $20,000 down payment program a city or government program?
Oh, that's a question for me again. Hey, technically, it's a City National Bank program. It's not a city program. It's not a government program. It is our money that we are allowing you to use. We're gifting it to you at closing as a reward for taking your steps into home ownership.
Thanks, Alan, and thank you, City National Bank.
The next question is, what is the minimum down payment to qualify for the free $20,000?
That's a question for me. I'll take it. So the minimum down payment on the City National Bank Ladder program is 3%. And that 3% minimum down payment comes with no mortgage insurance. you can actually use the grant, the $20,000, towards your down payment. So at a certain price, that could be your total down payment.
Wow, thanks, Alan. This City National Bank Ladder Up program, it's opening doors for buyers.
The next question is, how long does it take to fix my credit?
So I get asked all the time, right? How long will this take, Michael? And here's the realistic answer. It's going to take anywhere from generally 60 days to 120 days, just depending on what needs to be addressed. Remember that you are waiting on the credit bureaus to report whatever activities and things we've done. So there is a bit of a lag there, but oftentimes it's worth it. Now, in extreme cases, Carrie, what we can do is what we call a rapid rescore. So we can actually do something to make a big impact and then go right to the credit bureaus directly and have them view this new information and generate these credit scores right away. That can take as little as 30 days, sometimes even shorter. But again, on a general credit working counseling basis, I like to say 60 to 120 days.
Thank you, Mike. Wow, this is such great questions, and I love helping first-time home buyers.
The next question is, why do I need a realtor?
That's a great question. As your realtor, it is my job to guide you through every step of the home buying process. First, I help you find the home that fits your needs and all of your priorities. And then I negotiate for you, not just the price, but also the most favorable terms, because sometimes the terms are just as important as the price itself. And then when we get into the inspections, well, I have a trusted team of contractors that I've worked with for over 25 years. So if a repair issue pops up, we can quickly give us an accurate estimate of what the repair cost would be, which is huge and can help us in negotiating for those repairs or even from credits from the seller. If there's a difference between the appraised value and the contract price, I'm right there to advocate for you and negotiate a fair outcome. I also manage all of the paperwork and keep track of deadlines so that nothing is missed. Most importantly, I'm in your corner from your very first visit to closing day, making sure that your interests are protected. That even includes checking the property during our final walkthrough to make sure everything is as it should be before you get your keys. In short, I'm here to make this as smooth and stress-free as possible for you so that you can feel confident and supported every step of the way. Next question.
The next question is, will I have to pay back that $20,000 down payment money when I sell or refinance?
That's a question for me again too. Thank you. A really great question. It is a grant. You do not pay it back. There is no second loan. It's not something that we're going to record and require you to pay back in 5 years or 10 years, or when you sell your home and take the equity. No, we're giving you the money at closing, so you do not have to repay it.
We all love free money.
The next question is, when it comes to that free $20,000, what can I use the money for?
Ooh, can I take this question? You can use that free $20,000 for closing costs, towards your down payment. You could use it to buy down the interest rate. And as I mentioned before, at a sales price of $665 and you get some seller help to pay the closing costs, you could literally buy that home with no money out of your pocket.
Wow, this is good stuff. Unfortunately, it looks like we are running out of time. Thank you to all of you for your amazing questions, and we really want to connect with you so that we can answer all of your questions. Before you head out, don't forget, either click the link or scan the code and visit our home buying journey page. There's so much that you'll find. Everything that we've talked about today and then some. Links to get a copy of your credit report absolutely free. Step-by-step home buying guides. Easy access to our lender partners, plus credit tools and resources, and so much more. It's your one-stop shop for jump-starting your home ownership journey. Just click the link in the chat or scan the QR code that you're seeing now. And remember, opportunity favors those who are prepared. So jump right into that home journey page and get all the information so that you can make homeownership part of your future. If you have real estate questions, I have answers. Reach out anytime.